Welcome to Studio 5. We're excited to bring you a great show this week. We're traveling to Knoxville, where the stage is set for the latest Pure Flix film. It's called Nothing is Impossible. From there, we're going to travel back in time to 1955, Mississippi, for a film on a critical mother moment and movement in the long-time struggle for civil rights. And then the young actress and rapper, Alea Hyde, joins us with a look at the second season of her hit show, That Girl, Lele. Now we begin with this exciting look at our 5 best stories in the world of uplifting entertainment. Let's begin with numbers 5 and number 4. At number 5.
Hello, I'm Johnny Cash.
A first look at the documentary Johnny Cash, Redemption of an American Icon.
We were all young and wild and crazy.
How crazy were you?
All as crazy as you can get.
Success, all the partying, all the money, all the fame, all that. Something is not going to last.
And you begin to realize there's got to be something more.
Past that is a guy who's broken and knows he needs God.
It's coming to theaters December 5th, 6th, and 7th.
He was darkness and light, living in the same body, and one fought against the other.
At number 4. There's no denying the power of a song, and some of the most influential voices in Christian music united to celebrate that truth at this year's Dove Awards.
It's gonna be a night.
It's gospel music's biggest night, and among the big winners, CeCe Winans, taking home Dove Awards for Artist of the Year and Song of the Year.
This whole record, believe for it, it's just amazing what God is doing.
And Wilson's My Jesus earned her honors for Pop Contemporary Song of the Year and New Artist of the Year.
I want to thank my sweet brother in heaven who has inspired me. That's why I do what I do.
Doe took home the prize for Contemporary Gospel Album of the Year.
Papa told me something happens when I pray.
And she scored Gospel Worship Song of the Year for Breathe, a tune she wrote and recorded with Jonathan McReynolds, Chandler Moore, and Maverick City Music.
For us, this Breathe project was an intentional move to get together and collaborate with people that didn't look like everybody else.
Phil Wickham also took home 2 statues, one for Worship Song of the Year and another for Worship Album of the Year.
I just can't believe that God would give me a voice beyond the walls of my church to write new prayers for the church to sing.
And GMA honored Jacqueline Carr.
My portion, Jacqueline Carr!
For Traditional Gospel Song of the Year.
I wasn't even expecting it, but I guess this is my portion.
That begins our countdown and brings us to this week's Sit Down, which is really a sit down and a first look rolled into one. It's a new movie set in Knoxville, Tennessee, and we travel there to sit down with the cast of the moving story where an NBA team suddenly announces open tryouts, and that actually opens the door for a high school janitor to get a second chance at love and life. The film is called Nothing is Impossible.
If you humble yourselves before the Lord, all the answers to life's questions are easy to find.
So, Nothing is Impossible. David, set the scene for me. This story is what?
It is, it's a labor of love.
Maybe I want to do more with my life than just give up.
It's been in the process for 8 years. It is a story about second chances. It's a story about this guy who's down on his luck. He's almost made it into the NBA, missed it. Now is a high school janitor.
That's you in the trophy case.
That's me in the trophy case. And this is me now. And then they hold open tryouts for this fledgling NBA team that's about to go out of business and be sold.
This weekend, the Knoxville Silver Knights will be holding open tryouts at the arena.
And they gets a second chance.
Stella, what's your role in this story?
Well, I'm considered the voice of reason, but it's because I'm the oldest, I think, in the cast.
Scott, are you trying out? Aren't you like 40?
Not yet.
I know everyone else's backstory as well as my own, and that's why I can be the voice of reason, because I know that I've had redemption.
Are we rebuilding a franchise or are we casting a reality show?
I love it. Robert, what voice do you bring?
So I play the part of Nick, and Nick is actually Scott Beck's, our lead's best friend. And he also happens to be the high school basketball coach. His passion in life, the thing he really wants so badly, is to actually become a preacher, become a pastor. But the problem is he's got an anger management or an anger issue, and he's trying to get it under management. He's trying to control it. So it's almost like this sub-story of almost wanting something, but it wasn't in God's timing.
Forget it, Archie. I'm not going to trot out some old romance for the cameras.
And most surprising, middle-aged Scott Beck, former NBA.
Never underestimate the power of a really good Cinderella story.
What is it about sports that seem to always lend itself to telling really good stories?
Good question. Wow.
I think it's parallel to life, you know, because we're always trying to grab the brass ring, or we're trying to do better. And when you go out on the court or when you walk out on stage, you're hoping that you're fit and you're able to do your part.
Yeah, it's kind of like going to battle without any, you know, permanent repercussions. You know, it's. I think everyone loves a story where you've got to work hard to achieve something, and this story is about working hard, not quite being able to achieve it, and then finding out it was just the wrong time. What happens if now God begins to work at a different time than you thought originally?
Well, and how those dreams, you know, everybody has these dreams that are inside their heart at some point in time, and whether or not they pursued them, whether or not, you know, they maybe for whatever reason when we're younger we think they're more attainable, and then as we grow old I shouldn't do that, or you know, we more and more chop those dreams down to really manageable proportions so we can, well, I can achieve that. But we stop reaching for the stars. We stop, you know, trying to pursue those dreams. And so, I love that. I love the heart of this story. That ultimately, it's not just a sports movie. It's really a romance movie. It's about, you know, he only tries. Yeah, it's a love story. He tries out for the NBA, not because he really thinks he's going to be able to ever do it. It's more about getting the girl back that he lost.
You certainly have a lot for someone with nothing to lose.
We all chipped in, Mr. Scott.
What's your prayer for this project as it gets released to the world? What are you hoping it does?
You know what? I hope that people walk away at least willing to ask themselves, am I saying no to something God wants me to say yes to? I think if we can get people to start thinking that, start re-exploring the passions that they have within them that God has given them, I think we're going to get well ahead. I mean, that's a win in my book.
I've always thought of my work and as myself as being a messenger of hope. I've always used my music as a front for my missionary work. And I think this movie is a sense of hope for those who may have been struggling in any area of their life. It's a place of hope.
Obviously, first and foremost, we hope to entertain through our movies. And then you hope to uplift and inspire the human spirit to bring people to higher levels of insight to who God is and the purpose that he has in their lives through this powerful medium of film.
Don't you understand what's happening here?
I do.
He didn't use you to get to the NBA. He used the NBA to get you.
When God is going to do something amazing, he starts with the impossible.
Nothing is Impossible is streaming right now on the PureFlix streaming platform. Still to come.
It's been a long, hard-fought process trying to get this movie made.
Whoopi Goldberg's passion project.
He just wanted to go on vacation and have fun with his cousins. But if my son could just get his feet back onto the Chicago soil, he'd be one happy kid.
Pays tribute to a critical moment and voice in the civil rights movement.
We get to see how Mamie fights for justice. If something is happening to one of us, it is happening to all of us.
That story is next.
Hey, if you're tired and exhausted all day, you can't think clearly, and you really just need a cup or even a pot of coffee to get through your day, then join me, Dr. Josh Axe, for this new series where I'm going to teach you how to transform your diet and use essential oils and supplements to get a better night's sleep.
Wake up to your best life. Call 1-800-700-7000 to get your free DVD or booklet of Protect Your Sleep today.
It's about the competition.
I kind of put that pressure on myself, and I think people had expectations.
It's about overcoming.
We use this phrase all the time, keep chopping, keep practicing hard.
It's about going the distance.
You know, I think as a father, it's my job, you know, to lead. Just be the best husband and father I can be.
Watch Going the Distance with Sean Brown Saturday night at 7:30 on the CBN News Channel.
At number 3, audiences have embraced Wakanda and Black Panther. And Chadwick, he knew exactly what this story, what these images meant to the world.
A closer look at Black Panther Wakanda Forever.
I am queen of the most powerful nation in the world, and my entire family is gone.
And early projections of how it will score.
Have I not given everything?
And the first tracking out for the upcoming Black Panther sequel puts it at a $175 million opening weekend, which would be the second best debut of the year. The first film broke $200 million when it opened in 2018. Wakanda Forever is out November 11th.
In the telling of this story, we were all able to honor him together.
At number 2.
However far away I am from home, that's how far your love will go.
Tasha Layton's single, How Far, climbs to the top of the Christian charts.
How far?
How Far is a sleeper for me because I honestly didn't anticipate the outpouring of letters and messages on that song. I didn't think that it was as much of a gut punch as the other 2 singles, and so I really didn't know how it was going to go. And what I have found is it has really reminded people to pray and reach out to those that they love who are struggling and running from God.
That's how far your love will go.
We will continue our countdown with the #1 uplifting entertainment story coming your way in just a matter of moments. But now we bring you a look at a film that's taken many, many years to bring to the big screen. It's a pivotal story ripped from the pages of the real-life civil rights struggle in America. It's called Till, and it's the true story of Mamie Till Mobley's relentless pursuit of justice for her 14-year-old son, Emmett Till. He was abducted, beaten, and lynched while visiting his cousins in Mississippi in 1955.
First thing I noticed when I became a mother was that my hands were busy all the time. My hand knew him with my eyes closed, just like I know his laughter in a crowded room.
When everything went down with George Floyd and the entire nation got up and said, you know what, this is really starting to agitate us and we don't like it. People started to say, oh, let's tell some Black stories. And we were like, hey, we have a story for you.
I want to talk to you about that boy.
When I was approached by the producers 3 years ago about making this film, I told them that the only way that I was interested in telling the story was through Mamie's emotional point of view and perspective, her journey in the film. For without Mamie, the world wouldn't know who Emmett Till was.
Oh, he just doesn't understand how different things are in Mississippi.
Are you listening?
Yes. Be small down there.
Like this?
Emmett never thought anything would happen to him.
He wants to visit his cousins and have a good time, just go on vacation. All he wanted to do was go on vacation. But unfortunately, the place that he was vacationing wasn't so inviting.
He just wanted to go on vacation and have fun with his cousins.
He was punished in a way that was terrible and unjust, but it happened. And it sparked a fire in his mother that kept burning and burning. And she went out and she made a change in honor of her son.
They've come for you.
It's a generational story, and I feel about my daughter the way she feels about her son. And so my worries are her worries.
But if my son could just get his feet back onto the Chicago soil, he'd be one happy kid. I don't know why I said that.
Danielle Deadwyler is a revelation in this film. Her performance is a breathtaking channeling of who Mamie was.
It's hard to describe what a mother knows.
Mamie Till was the progenitor of the civil rights movement. She made a significant choice for the Black community of 1955 in America. And she made a significant choice for the greater American and global community by having an open casket wake for her son who was tragically killed, Emmett Till.
This was my boy, Emmett Till.
The historical significance of this movie is like none other. It is the spark, it is the start of change.
Can I at least just fix them up a bit?
No, they have to see it for themselves.
It's important to tell the story of Emmett Till through these difficult family discussions and challenges, because we have to understand that it's not easy coming to these choices.
You're not just my boy anymore.
This is a historical moment that changed the trajectory for so many people.
You tell me, Mamie, how is risking your life gonna help?
Those pictures of your son changed people's lives.
Everyone in her community that she already knew and was bringing spiritually from Chicago down into Mississippi, those people who she began to know, who were there intentionally for her, who deeply, deeply honored and respected the choices that she made for her own healing and for her community, the global community, the American community, the Black community's healing. They surrounded her with a kind of love.
I can't look, baby. We have to.
It's an emotionally immersive experience that is best had in a theater with other people.
Hopefully that does what Mamie Till wanted it to do, that Emmett's legacy persists.
The lynching of my son has shown me that what happens to any of us, anywhere in the world, had better be the business of us all.
History is something that builds the foundation of where we are today. So for it to be able to make theaters and make screens for the younger generation to see and still learn is something that is so important to us now and the generations to come.
It's really about trying to do your best, and that's all everybody in the film really tries to do. It's a great film. There's no other way for me to explain it. There's love, there's humor, there's angst, there's agitation, there's horror, there's all of these things that appear in life in this little film about a mother and son.
The whole world has to see what happened to my son.
Till had its world premiere at the New York Film Festival October 1st. It's playing in a theater near you right now. We need to take a brief break right here, but before we do, we want to share a story in pictures. Here's this week's Studio 5 Snapshot.
We've already shared scenes from the long-awaited sequel Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. These are more images from the film, with hints of new characters to help bring this story to the big screen. It's coming to a theater near you November 11th. We're counting down the days with this photographic tribute and this week's Studio 5 Snapshot. Just moments away.
Good bacon! Just remember, if you get nervous, just imagine everyone in their underwear.
The star of this Nickelodeon hit takes us inside the all-new season.
A little bit more. Perfect. Voila! Lele! I'm gorgeous!
Orphans Promise is committed to loving and serving at-risk children, to helping keep families together, and to creating opportunities for strong and sustainable communities around the world. We're working in over 60 countries around the world, and with your help, we can do even more. There's an old African proverb I love that says, if you want to run fast, run alone. But if you want to run far, run together. At Orphans Promise, we want to run far so we can touch the lives of as many orphaned and vulnerable children as possible. But we don't want to go alone. We're out to change the world, one child, one family, one community at a time. Will you join us?
Welcome back to Studio 5. Strap in for our next guest. Alea High is Lele, and she is the best friend anyone could ever want. But she is also a personal affirmation app. And when Sadie wishes upon a star, Lele is magically brought to life. Here's a look at Nickelodeon's That Girl, Lele.
Hype me up, hype me up, hype me up, yeah. Hype me up, hype me up. Make a good day better. Secrets I tell her, everything's safe, keep it G, we go get us. Through thick and thin, we know we gonna win. We stay down, that's my 2020 twin.
That's a look at That Girl, Lele, and joining us now is the star of the show herself, Alea High. It is so good to see you. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you so much for having me.
So tell me about the show for someone who hasn't seen it. I have seen it, but you're an inspirational app who comes to life?
Yes. Season 2 of That Girl Lele. Yeah, she had magical powers and music and it's experiencing everything that comes along with being a real teenager.
What's the difference between you and your character, or are there any?
There's no difference at all, not even a little bit. Me and my character are the exact same, with the hair color, with the nails, with the outfits. It's all the same.
Now, when can we see That Girl Lele? Remind people.
You can see season 2 of That Girl Lele Thursdays, 7:30 p.m. on Nickelodeon.
We will be watching. Thank you so much, Lele. It is a joy to talk to you.
Thank you for having me. Y'all have a good day.
You too. With that, we have made it to the final story in this week's countdown. Let's take a look at number 1 in our uplifting moments this week.
At number 1.
If you want to reach my people, you need to speak to them in a language they understand. If I bring them in, I'm going to lose my job. We can only walk through doors open to us. In your church, that's a door that's shut.
A first look at the Erwin brothers' next film, Jesus Revolution.
This thing that we found, I feel like I belong. You're going to need a bigger church.
Audiences are going to get a strong message of love and hope.
I hope people feel tearful and joyful all at the same time, and maybe inspired to rediscover their own faith.
It's in theaters in February.
Our country is a dark and divided place, but now there's hope, and it's spreading.
This is your home.
Daddy?
Yeah, buddy?
How many nickels are in a dollar?
There are 20 nickels in a dollar.
How do birds fly? Does milk really make my bones stronger?
Yeah.
Daddy, when we die, will we go to heaven?
Do you have the answer to life's biggest question? Call the 700 Club. We'll help you find answers to the important questions life brings your way.
Watch breaking news, in-depth exclusive stories and programs from health to entertainment you won't find anywhere else. The CBN News Channel, a perspective you can trust. Enjoy credible news reporting from around the world. Discover inspiring programs and stories of hope, all in one place from a Christian perspective. The CBN News Channel, a perspective you can trust. To watch the CBN News Channel, download the app or visit cbnnewschannel.com.
Welcome back to Studio 5. We love music here, and this week's soundtrack is something new from Tasha Cobbs Leonard, who recently dropped a new project called Hymns. Take a listen, and you will hear why power is what's playing in my ear. That's Power from Tasha Cobbs Leonard featuring Kiera Sheard Kelly. You can find it on her new project, again, that is called Hymns. On that musical note, we are just about out of time for this edition of Studio 5, so let's take a moment and look ahead to next week.
Where in the world are we? What in the...
It's something new from Disney's world of animation.
If you want to back out, this is the time to do it.
Really?
No! Messing with you, come on!
This is Strange World.
Set out to tell an environmental story, but obviously wanted to do it in a fun way and sort of profiled those adventure stories that I loved as a kid and still love as an adult.
Filmmakers are taking us inside the world of a legendary family of explorers on a crucial mission into uncharted and treacherous territory.
Our entire world is in grave danger. I want you to come with me on an expedition.
I'm not my father.
Hope you'll join us for that story and so much more next week. Before we bid farewell this week, we want to take you back to Knoxville, Tennessee for a final word from the cast of Nothing is Impossible.
Good look back on your own lives. Can you give me a second chance story of yours that happened?
For me, it's just even PureFlix. I think, anytime you start a company, we started PureFlix in 2005, myself and two other guys, and so many times along the way, it looked like our company was probably going to close the doors. And at some point, you go, okay, Lord, I don't know what I'm doing with this, but we'll throw it out there and we'll see. You have your hand on it. You do with it what you will. And obviously, God's Not Dead was the perfect example of that in storybook form. It was a movie that was way bigger than us. It was way trying to take that into theaters. Everybody rejected it when we couldn't raise them $6 million ourselves at the beginning of it. And yet we really believed that God wanted us to put that out there. And so when that hit, we all, it broke all these records, stayed in the theaters for record-breaking 20-some weeks. Went on to become one of the top 10 most profitable movies in cinema history based on its ROI. So it's like, how do you do that? That's only ultimately by God's blessing, by God's favor, but ultimately don't give up.
What a great final word for this edition of Studio 5 and this week's look at uplifting entertainment. A special thanks to the cast of Nothing is Impossible. Until next time, make time to uplift someone around you, and then please come on back and see where Studio 5 takes you next week. Bye-bye. Thank you for watching.